I'm lying alone in a man's bed, waiting for that man to return home. And did I mention I'm totally naked? This is gonna be the best surprise ever. I marvel at how smooth and cool the sheets feel against my bare skin. This is the sexiest I've ever felt, and it's happening for me when I'm 42, not 22. And I'd feared I'd blown my shot at having a spicy sex life by being awkward through my 20s and getting divorced not once, but twice in my 30s. But now I'm thinking through this single, spontaneous act of sexiness, I can reverse it all. It's worth a shot anyway. Now, just to be clear, by being a twice divorced single mom of a teenager, I had long ago given up the hope of finding a lasting true love. But I thought sexiness might be within my grasp still. And as a consolation prize for the no lasting true love thing, I decided to give myself a trip to Scotland, where many of my ancestors were from. And then I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I had someone to visit in Scotland? Because I didn't know anyone there. And now, lest you think I went the route of searching my family tree and trying to find relatives to knock on their doors and alarm them, I didn't go that route. That's too much work. No. Instead, I found ScottishPenPals.com. And there was a profile from a man who claimed that he liked to read books. Do you know how rare that is? I emailed him immediately. And he wrote me back the next day saying, "Blimey O'Reilly, I've about given up hope of ever hearing from a pen pal on this website." He had me at blimey. We wrote each other emails back and forth, at least one a day, sometimes two, hundreds of them. And all this leading up to me showing up in Scotland. And even though we had this obvious chemistry in writing, I was still nervous about the in-person meeting. Because you don't know. You like to tell yourself, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm so spiritual. It doesn't matter if, we don't click on a smell level or a chemistry, physical level. I'd be above that. But we're not. We are shallow human beings. Okay, I am. So I was nervous, but I needn't be. Because when I got there, we clicked. We hit it off. It was effortless, just like I'd read about in novels. And so had he. And when he brought me to his place, he showed me around, and he said, "Don't worry, you can use my bedroom. It has the good bed. I'll sleep in the guest bedroom." And I said, "You're sweet, but you're also crazy if you think you're not sharing your bed with me." And I tackled him. Now, he also, as a way to be a super host, a la the Airbnb people, he gave me my very own copy of his house key so that I could come and go as I please as I toured around the country. And how did I repay this kindness, you ask? Well, I'd come back a night earlier and crept into his bed to spring my sexy surprise on him. He was working till midnight. And I knew that when he came in and saw the sight of my bare breasts, he would just have all tiredness vanquished from his body, and we would make wild, savage love. I figured he might even write a Celtic poem about it, or a song. Maybe he'd write, to one of those magazines, a letter that started like, "I never thought something like this would ever happen to me." And as I'm lost in my wild fantasies about all this, I just close my eyes for a moment. Next thing I know, I'm awake to the sound of the front door opening. Oh, crap. I meant to have the light on so that he could see, the splendor. But I'd fallen asleep with the light off. And now I don't have enough time to get up, turn it on, and get back into my sexy pose. So I just have to figure out a way to tell him that I'm here in the darkness in a gentle way so as to not alarm him. I'm thinking, could I hum? Is there such a thing as sexy humming? And then all of a sudden, like, he's in the doorway of the bedroom. Like, it was not a very big place, and I am out of time. And so with all the choices in the world, I go with blurting out, surprise! He jumps higher than I've ever seen a large man jump. He shouts, Jings, Crivens, and help the Bob! And he's clutching at his chest. His breathing is ragged, and he falls to the bed, and I'm thinking, is he having a heart attack? Have I just killed this gentle giant of a man who opened his home and his heart to me? He then tries to speak. He says, I just didn't expect. I said, I know, I'm sorry, just don't talk, breathe. Maybe put your head between your legs. I'm not very good at first aid. He does. And it's like tense for a few minutes, but finally his breathing calms. I don his robe and I go in. Since hot sex is off the table, I brew us hot tea instead. And as he's sitting there in recovery, sipping his tea, I'm thinking, well, that's it. I mean, I have blown this. There goes my shot at like a sexy life, true love, any of it. It's all gone. But then he catches my eye over the brim of his teacup, and he says, life with you is exciting. And 11 days from today, we will have been married for 11 years. Thank you. Thank you. And for the record, yes, we still keep it exciting and sexy. Thank you.